Captain's Log, Episode 94. This episode of the Beer Vengers podcast is sponsored by the Beer and Cheese Collective, located at 35-11 Ditmars Boulevard in Astoria, Queens. Enjoy their eclectic array of craft beer, artisanal cheeses, and specialty grocery items at the Beer and Cheese Collective, home bar to yours truly, Captain Porter Brown Stout. On this 5-pour episode, Beer Wonder Huck and the Captain delve into a lot of stuff, including holiday times, fan shoutouts, cinematic digressions, and more. As to the cinematic digressions, bear with us. This episode gets more beer-focused as our bodies become more beer-saturated. And as far as fan shoutouts go, we want to give special thanks to Eric and Sweetie. You can find their beer vlogs, among other places, at the I Am Not a Poet YouTube page. On a personal note, I recently met them at the Gun Hill Barrel Aged Fest and found them delightful. In this episode, you'll hear me say I've never met them. That was before. For more, check out our Instagram Live archive. Also, Huck gets yet another nickname, and Beer Wonder faces his fears. Remember to like, star, and subscribe whenever that feels appropriate. And send us your emails at thebeervengers@gmail.com if you have any questions, suggestions, or if you just like hearing us talk about you on the show. And now, without further ado, please enjoy episode 94, Fear Wonder meets Uptown Huck.
We're the beer Vengers, beer Vengers, beer Vengers. We're the beer Vengers, we're the beer Vengers, beer Vengers, beer Vengers. We're the beer Vengers.
Welcome to the Beercast, everyone. Coming to you from an undisclosed location in Astoria, Queens, I am Captain Porter Brown Stout.
And coming to you from an undisclosed location in the Uptown area of Fresno, California, this is the Pale Male, Hophead Huck.
And coming to you from an undisclosed location in the County of Kings, well, it is I, the Beer Wonder.
And we are the Beer That's right, we're the Revengers, you're the Revengers. Welcome to the very first episode of the new year.
What?
2024. Yeah, I know. If you downloaded our last episode, you downloaded it in the new year, but this is the first one we're recording in the new year, and we're so happy to be here with all of you.
I'm still writing 2023 on all my online invoices.
Right? Who's writes a check these days? Well, actually, ironically, I had to write a few at the end of last year. So yeah, I did. Yeah, but I guess.
I think that hackily rewritten joke, that's in honor of Joe Coy from hosting the Golden Globes the other night. I think that sounds like something he would have said.
I pitched that one to him. He didn't use it, I guess.
Yeah,
Well,
and he would have thrown you in the nuts if he did, yeah.
He should have, Huck. He should have. It would have been a step up. Oh my gosh.
This will be completely irrelevant by the time this airs in a few days. I think it already is now, and it's only been 3 days ago.
Right, I know. Oh God.
Boy, our episodes are always so topical.
I know. Well, that's what we are. We are the Beer Vengers. We're living in the moment. That is what we do.
And a synonym for topical can often also be disposable. So
Fair.
Hopefully, meaning, oh yeah, that means nothing to me now. So I guess I'll just listen to a different podcast. I don't know. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you, because even if you're listening to this in the future, well, it's always anyway. Dig me out of this somehow, guys.
We're getting mad philosophical at the top here. Well, I'll tell you, you know how we can dig out of this, Captain?
How can we do that?
Crack open a few brews, baby.
I think that's a really great idea, Uptown Huck. Should you introduce yourself as Uptown Fresno?
Huck. He's been riding in his Uptown truck.
Let's hope he's not shit out of luck. All right.
You're gonna get sued by Billy Joel's estate now? Maybe
Not for copyright, but for defamation. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, gentlemen, I'm thirsty, so.
What do you have for us today? Beer
Oh,
Wonders?
me? Oh, how kind and polite of everyone.
Yeah.
We've completely let go of the shenanigans. It's a 2024 new year, new us, new beer. Well, this beer is hardly new, and honestly, it was staring at me in the fridge, mildly terrifying. Because y'all, if you've been listening along, you'd know the raccoons are back, y'all. Because today I will be drinking a
sponsored pour.
That's right, a sponsored pour from the Beer and Cheese Collective, 35-11 Ditmars Boulevard in Astoria, Queens. I was having a little bit of a skip. The record in my brain was skipping there for a moment.
Well, look, I understand because I flashed the raccoon at you before I made the reference to our delightful sponsor. So I knew you'd be scared too, because I am as well.
I don't think you feel as scared as you did the last time. I think you're really facing your fears, and when we all have our beers poured, we can toast to that.
Fantastic. Well, of course, that means that I'm drinking a beer from our friends at Catskills Brewery. This is another one of their India Pale Ale High Peaks series. This one is their Friday Mountain, and it is a West Coast IPA.
Ooh, nice.
Looks like that. So
Friday Mountain.
Exactly.
Oh,
and it was ready to go, wasn't it?
Yeah, it sure was. Very fresh.
Take a look
crack.
at this beer.
Well, it's jumping out of the can. The raccoon is coming for me right now, but
proper glassware.
Exactly, as it should be. It's a nice West Coasty, so it's already got that nice kind of amber color to it.
Getting that.
Yep. And it's good looking. We'll make sure our little raccoon friend gets some attention here, because, he is deserving
Otherwise,
of that
he'll rip your face off. Yeah.
Exactly. I gotta tame him and continue to, make sure he is well cared for. So I got my thing. I'm facing my fears. Thank you for being here. Well, thank you for joining me for this TED Talk. Who's going next?
Well, I'll tell you what, anytime there is a new release from my favorite California brewery, Moonlight, I got to get on it. So Moonlight is back. I don't know, that ties in with the raccoon. Raccoons come out at night.
That's true.
This looks like a real beauty. This is called Pallet Forager.
Oh,
there's a picture of a guy with pallets. And then there's a picture over here showing different kinds of pallets.
Oh,
right.
Neat.
There you go. That is cool.
And it's made with Rawaka hops.
Rawaka.
West Coast style.
Yeah.
Dated December 10th, so freshy.
Oh, wow.
Let's give this beauty a little bit of a try.
Oh, look at that.
Getting a similar color to
nice and resiny there.
B-Dubs beer, and nice head there. Oh, God, perfect pour, dare I say.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Look at that head. The beautiful head retention on that one. Got what, like 3/4 of an inch there? Oh, looking good.
Oh, the can looks good and everything. Palate Forager.
Wow.
Can't wait to try this beauty.
I don't think that one's going to cleanse the palate. I'll say that.
It's going to, well, we'll see what it does.
We'll find out. Yeah. All right, Captain.
All right. So I, too, have a
sponsored pour.
It's a sponsored pour. I was visiting the provider the other day.
That's one shot.
Happy New Year. And she gave me a couple of beers from I think it's a brewery I've heard of, but I don't know if I've ever had it before, and I'm almost positive we've never had it on the show.
Okay.
And that is Hop Butcher from Chicago, Illinois.
Oh.
And this is their double milk stachio.
Oh.
And we'll be putting pictures of this on the gram and everything. Although in honor of the pistachio, it's pretty green, so you can't see much of it. But this is a pistachio double milk stout brewed with chocolate.
I do want to mention, though, and Captain, I know we have to hide our identity slightly, but can you hold up the can next to your face? Because I do see a striking resemblance in some of the stachioedness of the can, as well as the stachio-ness of our Captain here. All you need is a bowler, and I think that this may actually be your beer.
Yeah, I think you're right. This is one of those like handlebar mustaches kind of thing, which I have occasionally sported. Not quite as impressive as the gentleman.
Let's take a look.
Represented here.
There's something else. Well, we'll talk about this later. All right, go ahead.
There we are.
Oh, that is actually pouring faster than I would have anticipated for your description of it.
Yeah, I will have to look up the ABV because I can't quite see it on the can, but we will get to that.
Yeah.
But for the time being, here we are. Our lovely sponsored pour.
Beautiful.
Pistachio, yeah.
That's a cool can, yeah.
Very cool.
All right.
Alrighty.
I think we're all poured, so cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers, Beer Avengers.
Cheers to facing our fears in the new year the way Beer Wonder is facing his fears of that scary raccoon.
I know. It just keeps coming for me. But honestly, this beer is really doing it for me. Very, not super resiny, a little bit more like sweet and fruity, but definitely an intense bitter aftertaste. It's got that good West Coast punch. And I dig it. It does have that, like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a way to get Friday Mountain into this. I'm not sure. Do we know which one is Friday Mountain? I mean, Captain, you were up there most recently. Is Friday Mountain one of the Catskills?
Sure, why not?
Cool. I like that.
We're gonna assume so. We're gonna assume so.
You know, we were talking on the last show about how, and actually the last two shows about how many other things are named for things in the area, but kind of hard to tell exactly which is. So I guess we have to go back there and find. I have a little scavenger hunt to find all the places referenced on the Catskill Brewery beers.
So you're saying a research trip is in order?
Yes, a research trip, absolutely.
Okay, good. Thank you. We have to keep the standards high here. Well, honestly, the standards on this beer are quite high, and raccoon notwithstanding, I would have many.
Oh yeah, Catskill's super reliable brewery in my mind.
Oh yeah,
as is of course Moonlight. They are since 1992, which, if you believe it or not, it always gets me that they've been around that long, and that they are always on the cutting edge.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of breweries will lay back on their laurels, and I don't know. Moonlight I think they're one of the most progressive breweries around as far as forward thinking. I don't mean politically. I don't know what their politics are, but this is very good. And the Riwaka really gives it that tropical fruit vibe. I know you're not supposed to, but I get banana. I do get banana. Almost like, remember those runts? Remember runts?
Oh yeah.
I'm getting the runts candy kind of a.
So it's that's like sweet, almost slightly cloying banana character.
Yeah, but on the taste, it's definitely not. I'm not getting a sweetness. It's a bitterness, but it's a cut bitterness. You know, so it's like
okay.
The sweetness and the bitterness come together just to give it a very nice, smooth flavor with that slight tropical fruit taste to it. I just keep sipping it, just like, wait, let me try that again.
Yeah, you got to sip for science, right? Sip for science.
And it is. My palate is doing the foraging, and the beer is foraging my palate at the same time.
Win-win situation, I think.
Win-win palate forager.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume it's an in-joke there that they have a guy who goes around with a truck and picks up pallets.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they
That's
can
probably it, yeah.
Transport the beer. So it's going to be an in-joke, but also the palate on your tongue, and then somehow the artist's palate comes into it. The art of brewing.
The art of brewing. Look at that.
There you go. Moonlight. They're good at it. They're good at it.
Yeah.
And now that Hop Butcher. I wonder.
Yes.
I'm currently watching the movie Gangs of New York.
Oh, yeah.
When I say currently, is like I watch about 10 minutes every 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
It's a good way to make it last a long time.
It's not the best. It's not Scorsese's best. Somebody might, but Bill the Butcher looks like the guy on the can. So I'm wondering if that's a tie-in.
Well, I heard a theory. I heard a theory recently that part of the reason it's not great was probably Harvey Weinstein's fault.
Yeah, I love that. Just blame Harvey.
Not just because he's a rapist piece of shit, but also because apparently he was an incredibly meddling producer and fucked up a lot of movies as a result. And so it might have been the only movie Martin Scorsese made with him, but I'm not. I can't attest to that fact. But
all right,
but that's a big theory. Is it would have been a better movie if it hadn't been for Harvey Weinstein.
I'm going to just say that they can't all be gems. Scorsese's got a good track record. Yeah, it's not the best. There's a lot of laziness to it, the filmmaking, I find, but I'm kind of enjoying it at the same time. Maybe it's because I like Cameron
I'd watch
Diaz.
it again. Yeah.
I remember miss Cameron Diaz. She stepped out of the spotlight.
I think someone I heard one time suggested that that sometimes it almost feels like you're watching a musical without the songs when you're watching that movie.
I can see that. That would really brighten it up.
Yeah.
On Bill the Butcher.
In fact, to go a little further, I was looking this up, and you're right. It does look a little bit like he doesn't have quite the jaw that Daniel Day-Lewis has, but I see what you're saying. I think Daniel Day-Lewis. Anyway, but the actual full name of the brewery, because once I started to go looking for it online, is Hop Butcher to the World.
Oh,
I like that.
that's cool.
Yeah. And this beer has Hop Butcher for the World. That's how they're listed on all these things I'm looking up, and it's a 9% ABV.
Okay. So it's a bold beer, but not quite, the 13% motor oil that we're used to the captain drinking.
That's true. It's a little closer to what we call an export stout.
Yep.
And it's really, really tasty. It's got a nice lactose mouthfeel. Chocolate isn't too sweet. The pistachios are subtle. I think as I go through it, I'll probably taste them a little bit more because that chocolate really dominates this. But it's
Nice.
Really, really nice beer. And as I said before, currently available at the Beer and Cheese Collective. You should go check it out.
One should always. Now, I know Huck had a question, I think, about the handlebar mustache or something to do with the facial hair.
Well, there's another brewery in Chicago, isn't it? Is it Mustache Brewing? So I was wondering if it was a collab.
Oh, it is a collab, but the collab is with. Let me see. I was just looking this up because it's on this. Thing is, it's on. Not only is this hard to read with the on the green screen, but it's actually it's such a dark green and it's black writing on it, and my elderly eyes can't quite make it all out. But according to this, it's another thing with Dry Hop is the name of the other one.
Dry Hop.
Collaboration with Dry Hop, who I also am not familiar with, but
no.
Based on this beer, I look forward to having more of them.
Well, I have the same problem in here because it keeps getting darker. You can open the window, shade a little. So, and then I have my computer glasses on, so I can't read the can. I'm like, just to get the ABV on this. I believe it's around 7, I think.
All right,
but I may not ever figure that out. Talk amongst yourselves.
As Beer Wonder gets on in years, he keeps us around. He keeps us around to make him feel young, I think.
Yes. Well, I was going to say 2024, new year, new you, big year for the Wonder. The Wonder is reaching a milestone this year. It's very exciting.
Well, especially since you hang out with the Y gen or the Z generation all day, right?
Well, I manage the Z generation.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
My friends are of the X generation. I'm technically a millennial, but I'm on the old end of it. So who even knows at this point?
Yeah.
Are you telling us you're turning 40 this year?
That is correct. Yes, I will be turning 40.
He is disclosing that information. Yes,
I am. Now everyone knows how old the one. Now you know how long I've been spreading wonder on this earth.
And that's that is how old you make me feel.
I know. Oh yeah,
I met you when you came out of college.
Oh yeah,
right.
Oh absolutely, 100%. There. We all knew there'd be a time when the Wonder turned 40. Well, guess what? That time is nigh. That time is 8 months away. Believe it or not.
We're getting so nostalgic about all of this. Maybe we should call this episode "The Wonder Years."
Oh, the Wonder Years. Oh, see that we always know what title presents itself.
2024, the Wonder Year.
Hey, they've made 2 different TV shows with it, so why not glom onto that brand?
Yeah, it seems to have done well for itself.
Heck
Well, speaking of of the year, we did hit a couple milestones in there. Right at the end of last year, we did Christmas and New Year's.
That's right. Yeah, we've in fact, going along with the Scorsese thing, I actually saw Killers of the Flower Moon. The Christmas week, and enjoyed it very much. Saw it with the person who has a Beer Venger name, but who's never been on the Beer Venger, Cider Cat. Went to see an industry screening at a hotel in Midtown. But I enjoyed it very much.
Oh, that's nice. You and the Cider Cat. Nice.
Yeah. Well, because the Globe Hopper was slaving away at the axe throwing bar. But I had dinner with the 2 of them at a Chinese place, as we like to call it, as Beer Wonder has taught me, and now I can't think of it as anything else. Went to Handy Nasty.
Yes, it's called Han Dynasty. And actually, excellent Chinese food. But if you go to their website, it says Han Dynasty, and when you put it all as one word, it says Handy Nasty. And unfortunately, I can't get it out of my head. But you should go there. The food is exceptional.
Yes, it was very good. Since I was having dinner with the 2 of them on the 25th, and my screening was on the 26th. I just let it out to both of them. I said, I've got an extra ticket. Who wants to go? He had to work, so she joined me. And it was people. There's some. I think most of the hand wringing about how long it is are from people who haven't seen it, because it was great. It didn't seem short, but it did not seem like 3 hours and 40 minutes.
Oh,
I'll just leave it at that.
All right. Wow. Yeah. I mean, it looks interesting. I actually went to watch it the other day on Apple, and it's not available.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I'm like, what the hell?
Yes, I know. It does. If you can see it there, I know you're not going to get out of your living room and go see it. But it was pretty great seeing it on a big screen, even in a smaller private screening room. It's pretty cool.
Right on. Which screening room was it?
It's the Whitby Hotel. It's one I'd never been to before.
Oh. Now, because sometimes these industry screenings come with snacks.
This one did, yes.
Oh,
there were like popcorn and like Sour Patch Kids and M&Ms and
drinks.
I guess to a lot of people there were no drinks at this one. No.
Damn. Okay.
No.
Well, the captain and I used to work in these screening rooms, so we used to go to some of the ones that I never like, the Sony one and the Disney one.
Yeah.
We had been in these places, but the Whitby Hotel, that sounds nice.
Yeah, it's new. The one I go to most often in that neighborhood is the Dolby 88 screening room. But yeah, this was nice. It was a really good little setup. And honestly, I think when you're sitting down for a 3 hour and 40-minute movie, it's probably actually they had water there.
Okay.
Because I honestly think that a couple of nice craft beers before a 3 hour and 40 movie would either put me asleep or send me to the bathroom before it was over. So I think it's probably for the best.
That's true.
That the case. Yeah,
3 hours and 40. That's half a work day. You need to have like a 15-minute bathroom break in there.
Well, they used to have intermissions for these kind of movies.
Actually, I saw a movie a couple days ago at the Film Forum that had an intermission, but that was over 4 hours.
I think 4 is usually where they put him in. I saw like Kenneth Branagh's Hamlet had an intermission,
right?
Yeah,
and Gandhi.
Sure, I think
Gandhi would have an intermission.
Those are the only 2 movies I remember going to that had an intermission.
Well, when I lived overseas, when I lived not in the United States, any movie you would go to would have an intermission. So like they'd be doing like Finding Nemo or something, and they would insert an intermission at whatever the 50% point of the film was. So you'd be in the middle of a scene and it would just stop, and the lights would come up and you'd have to go out and go to the bathroom and get your snacks and come back in. And then they'd show you like 5 minutes of previews for another movie and then just pick up right where they left off. It was always the strangest thing.
Oh, that's right. You lived in what's it? Italy?
Cyprus. Greek Isle. But yes, intermissions were a part of that childhood for me. And I never understood them because I was just like, there's clearly something happening. Why are we stopping?
Yeah. Wait. I'm watching a movie here. What's going on?
Exactly. Yeah.
I used to like to go to revival houses, and I'm pretty sure that both Gone with the Wind and Lawrence of Arabia had intermissions.
Oh, right. Yes. I'm fairly sure. I think even when you watch them at home, there is like a break in the film where you're supposed to go.
Yes. Well, I recently watched Reds.
Sure.
And that also, I remember seeing that when that actually came out when that was really. I was not came out. I was alive when that one came out. This is going to be. You see, what are you saying? What are you saying, Huck?
I said me too.
Okay, yeah. I thought you were going to say that someone was going to take that little soundbite of what I said and we'll be all over it. And maybe people listen to this, and so
it'll be a nice.
I'll happy for people to distort my words in that way. If it means we get more
look,
downloads.
New you, Captain.
Sure, yeah.
2024, it's our year.
But yeah, so Reds had an intermission. I also remember when I rented My Fair Lady. They had the intermission built in there.
Huh.
And I just watched Sound of Music on TV the other night, and that also has an intermission.
Okay. Yeah, it does. Yeah,
they put it in while we're at home watching it. I'm like, we could just pause it.
But I think the last contemporary movie I saw with intermission was The Hateful Eight.
I love The Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
Were you saying you hate The Hateful Eight?
I've never heard of The Hateful Eight, but of course none of us would be surprised. Yeah. Oh yeah, okay.
It's Tarantino. I saw it at the Village East. It was a big part of how like Quentin Tarantino did it, and then he even recut it again. Was on Netflix, so it was like in like 3 chapters. But yeah, it's It is not one of the often listed as a favorite Tarantino, but I enjoyed it a lot too, especially.
I love
second
it.
viewing. Yeah,
That's a good one. Oh, second viewing too. That's a good second viewing movie.
Yeah.
Great cast, great concept.
I think that was the first thing I
And it's
noticed.
filmed in
Goggins
like it's like CinemaScope, right?
Yes, I think that was part of the deal, or why it was at the Village East. They had a special like 35 millimeter print and all that.
Oh wow.
I'm a big
been talking about-
Tarantino fan, so I forgive all the things that people don't like about Tarantino movies.
Me too.
Which is like they're too long. We know that going in. They say the N-word too much. We got to know that going in.
Yeah, and the one I keep hearing, the one I keep hearing in recent years is you can always tell that he's got a foot fetish.
Yeah,
I've heard that a lot too. Yes,
I heard there's a whole foot fetish thing about Margot Robbie, which she didn't even know about.
Oh, for Barbie because of the toe thing.
Well, the Barbie thing kind of brought it to light. But if you look at previous films, including Once Upon a Time,
the whole thing where she goes to see herself in a movie and she takes her shoes off and puts them up on the seat. Yeah,
in almost every film she's in, there's some foot moment with her.
All right, well that's the only one with Tarantino. So yeah,
no, that's just the one with Tarantino. But yeah, Barbie's a big one because she's got the built-in high-heeled foot.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And this has been the Beer Vengers.
How did we've gone from
it's called Pints and Picks.
Intermissions to foot fetishes to we've been on a journey, gentlemen. Wow, this new year is really doing us right.
And I will have to say, I wish I could say that I like you tried to tie it in when you asked if there were free drinks. And
I did.
Then when I went to see the 4-hour movie at the Film Forum, I didn't get there in time to go to Torch and Crown, so I just had a can of Pinot Noir when I was there.
What a waste!
This movie called Occupied City, but I'm not even going to get into that one right now.
But I know if I recall correctly, for Christmas you did actually go and have some beers.
I did.
You were at one of our favorite spots, a Tiger, one might say.
Yes. Well, actually, that was on Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, yes.
And that was tied in with the film. You're right.
Yep.
And I went to see a movie at the IFC that was called Monster, not the Charlize Theron one. This is a Japanese movie. It takes place in 3 separate segments, telling the same story. It's not exactly a Rashomon kind of a thing. It's more that you learn more when you learn the story from different people's points of view. I don't think it was supposed to be that anyone was an unreliable narrator. It's just like filling in the gaps. And so I had been talking to the Globehopper, and he said that he was actually. This is how hard Globehopper works. He worked on Christmas Eve and on Christmas Day.
I know. I got to make that
money. He worked till like 10 p.m. And so he and Cider Cat, one of their favorite places, is not terribly far from there. And so they were meeting at the Dead was it the Dead Rabbit or the New Rabbit or what's it called?
Yeah, Dead Rabbit, yeah. In the Village?
Yeah, Dead Rabbit. Yeah, the Dead Rabbit in the Village, yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of their favorite places to go. And so I decided after the movie, I'm going to go to the Blind Tiger and have a couple drinks. And if I can stretch it out to 10:30, I'll go meet them there. And of course I did. So I had some great drinks at the Blind Tiger. Then when I met them, had some really interesting beers. And and so we've told it, just like that the monster movie that would told the story out of sequence from different points of view. It's all my point of view, but I've told December 24th and 25th and 26th in reverse order.
See, this is a very meta podcast. We are really
it is.
We're really reliving those wonder years.
Yeah. 25th.
Nice way to tie it back in.
I know, yeah.
25th, I actually stayed home, and I can't remember if I had any beers, but I was before I went to do the Chinese thing. I watched the remake of the Kane Mutiny Court Martial, William Friedkin and Lance Reddick's final film.
Oh wow, very nice.
I never got around to seeing that one.
It's on. I think it's on Showtime.
Lance Reddick plays the captain, Queeg?
No, Kiefer Sutherland plays Captain Queeg. I don't know what they call this in a military proceeding, but Lance Reddick played the judge, essentially.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And they said it, and they said it in contemporary times, so that meant it didn't have to be all white men.
And
not even all men. So yeah. So like the
even
part
better.
that E.G. Marshall played in the original movie was played now by a woman of color. So, stuff like that.
And for the listeners, even though we are three white men,
White. Mhm.
we are very pleased to see so much more representation in film and television these days.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Had to be said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we just shat all over the Golden Globes, so you
Well,
know.
I tell you, but,
Well, I don't think
so
we
many
should
people
all-
get upset
yeah.
about it. You know,
Yeah.
Oh, why is he black? It's like because black people exist, asshole.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Why are we telling? There are a lot of stories to be told, and many of them are very good.
Oh
And
my god!
I think there's no reason at all to apologize for shitting on the Golden Globes. I think we mostly were just shitting on Joe Coy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But the actual Golden Globes have been. I mean, they practically canceled it last year because the organization was so corrupt, and I don't
Right.
even know who. I don't even know who's voting for it anymore because the Hollywood Foreign Press has been. But I think the deal is people like turning on a TV show and watching a lot of celebrities in the same room, and even if it's corrupt or whatever, that means like, okay, this is our sort of like appetizer for the awards season.
Yeah. It gets you going. The
in fact,
amuse
Kind of
bouche.
sets the stage. Yeah.
In fact, I didn't watch it because I was busy voting for. Well, actually, I'm not allowed to say that.
Oh.
Person who looks like me who's on the nominating committee for something was voting for.
Well,
something.
it's not you, Captain. It's your
No,
roommate,
no,
obviously.
That's right. Which may or may yes, yeah.
Glad we settled that.
Well, thank
And
goodness.
this has been Picks and Pints.
Picks and Pints.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
We got a Picks and Pints song to play us off.
I know.
I wanted to
For,
mention that
for those of you listening on this audio, which is all of you, the Huck just mimed playing his ukulele for the non-existent Picks and Pints song.
Yes. We are all lucky for it.
I have it right here, but I won't pick it up. But I did want to mention that we've been getting some feedback.
We have.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I had that on my list of stuff to talk about. But yeah, go ahead.
What on the TikTokies, on the X's, on the Instagrams, on the emails?
Mostly Instagram and Facebook. Yeah.
I want well, honestly, on the gram, we get a lot of responses from the breweries. That we
Yes,
feature.
that's true.
I mean, almost the past couple episodes, we've been our stories have been reposted by most of the breweries. New Glory,
Wow.
Catskill, of course. Others, just all these other breweries have been featuring us on their stories, which is nice to see for sure. But I want to point specifically to a comment that I saw on Facebook,
Oh,
and the captain might have seen this too. Eric Zork Allen. Now, do we know Eric Zork Allen at all?
We've never met Eric Zork Allen or his companion Laura, who he sometimes refers to as Sweetie.
oh, okay.
Well, that's what I wanted to mention that because sometimes it's like, oh yeah, he's a friend of ours. Like, oh, okay, never mind. But no, this is a real person.
Yeah,
Yes.
a real
he
human
says-
who's not us.
And to response to our last episode, he said, yes, we are big fans of your show, and we caught the beer bug, particularly inspired by your show.
Oh,
That
was
led
really
us
cool.
out. Listen to this. That led us out to 85 breweries so far to post 85 beer vlogs. It's been a blast. Thanks as always for your video podcast, Eric Zorn, Allen, and Sweetie, professional
Yeah.
poets and bed and beer vloggers. I think there was another post somewhere else.
Yeah, well,
Vi-
Sweetie is also known as Laura Vuklis. I probably pronounced your name wrong.
Oh, that's Laura's. Okay, good. Yeah.
yeah.
Let
And
me
she
read
said,
Laura's.
thanks for the suggestion. Oh, go ahead.
No,
Or thanks for the suggestion of Catskill Brewery. Eric Zork Allen and I visited 7 breweries in the Catskills in September, but further northeast. And she lists all of them. All the related beer vlogs are up on his Facebook as well as his instant YouTube. I'm more the beer fan. He likes road trip adventures, making videos. I've learned a lot from your podcast. So thank you, Laura and Eric. We're glad you're listening, and we're glad we inspired you to create something as well.
And that's my favorite line is I've learned a lot from your podcast, and I want to give the captain a lot of credit here.
Mhm.
Keep it as our producer. So thank you
exactly.
for that.
Keeping us going. Absolutely.
That comment alone makes it worth it. All 94
Yes.
episodes. Or is this 94? This was 94.
This is 94, yeah.
94.
All
This is
93
94th
episodes
episode.
is worth it. I'm glad we got that in there. Good, Laura and Eric. Thanks to both.
Oh,
of you.
Laura and Eric, y'all should honestly. I feel like given that they should come on. Laura and Eric, if you're listening,
They
you should reach out to us
Get them on.
at thebeervengers@gmail.com
Right.
and say hi.
Well, I want to talk
Yes.
about. I've actually got a shout out to J.R. Martin, a fellow comedian here in where am I? Fresno.
In the Frez.
I told JR, I said, "Oh yeah, I've got a podcast, Beer Avengers." He went back and started listening from episode 1.
Wow.
He's like, "I only started from the beginning." So he's a fan. He's a fan.
What state is he in?
I mean, he's usually pretty, Oh, you mean California?
Okay.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I did
I was
see like
teasing him. No,
It's funny.
he's like an in-person friend,
Like a real human friend.
And
a real
speaking
person.
speaking of people who we should have on the podcast,
Yes.
we got some feedback from Paige, the wonderful woman at Amagang who gave Belgian Babe and I such a wonderful tasting experience. So I just reached out to her since she's she's following us on Instagram.
Nice.
And basically let her know that if she wanted to listen to the current one, that she's on it, so she might want to hear it. And she said, I listened to it with my mom and then was asked to forward it to my supervisors at Amagang. It was so cool and everyone enjoyed it. Thank you again for joining me and for a beer-soaked, enduring friendship. Cheers.
Oh.
Smiley face emoji.
Smiley face. Well, it's true when there's a smiley face emoji.
And
That takes it over the edge.
Cookie smiley face emoji.
Oh, it's the one with the
better.
teeth.
Yeah.
That's the Gen Zers tell me that's the good one. So.
Oh, okay.
Are we starting to catch on? Is that what's happening?
We're kind of a big deal. People know about us.
Yeah.
I mean, as we approach 100, they got to be the Beer Avenger dumb is catching. So
yes.
But
is this where are you leaning up to some version of some announcement here?
I have
no real announcement. No real announcement, but
it's an important. It's a technical issue that sometimes needs to be fixed on our show. I mean, it's not really technical, but it is technical.
All I'm saying is, and I will state this, and we're considering taking a temporary hiatus once we reach 100 episodes. So if anyone else wants to reach out to us in the next 5 or so to have any similar feelings, we'll read everything you write on the show.
That's not what I was saying.
That's also not quite what I was referencing, but
oh my gosh. Oh, that reminds me of a story I got to tell you guys. But I was just saying I wanted to have a second beer.
Okay. Yes. So yes.
But yes, in that vein, Captain, I know that we have talked about this. We do want to reach that milestone of 100 episodes. Yep. I mean, it's still 6 more after this. So,
and we're not going away, but we're going to take an indefinite hiatus at that point. And
probably be a week.
We'll be in the world of all our various things. You will still be hearing from us. You will still know us. We're keeping all our accounts going, but we're taking a little bit of a pause. So next 5 episodes, if you have anything you want to say it, and we will make that a priority.
Yeah,
get in there. Get
in while you can. So
and also speaking to those other Beer Avengers out there, we're all Beer Avengers, of course. But if you've been on the
named
show before,
Beer
Avengers,
get back
on, please.
Now's your chance.
Here we're doing another non-guest show right now. I just wanted to say I'm gonna in my quest to continually bring new breweries to the show, I am going to do it again.
Oh my gosh,
this is one that has been on my list for a while, and I haven't brought it on the show. It's called Captain Save a Hop.
Oh my!
This is from Full Circle Brewing Company.
Okay,
and Full Circle is right here in downtown Fresno.
As it should be.
This will be my 3rd Save a Hop this week.
Okay,
because I hang out there.
So you've got connections, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I know the taproom manager. We do a comedy show there on Sunday. I actually hosted a comedy show there on Sunday night, this past Sunday, and so I wanted to make sure to give a shout out to them. And so I'm going to open this up. The Captain Save Up, nice West Coast style IPA, 7%. Very reliable. Mm-hmm. And if you notice, and you guys will notice this, I'll give you a preview if you ever come visit us. That's a little foreshadowing.
Oh my!
Yes.
The whole town is very into it's the Day of the Dead is very prominent in a
very
lot
present.
It's very present, very Mexican town, and so you're gonna notice a lot. And they have the Day of the Dead guy with the hops coming out of his head, and you'll see Captain Save Hop is also a skeleton.
Yep.
So that's kind of a big vibe here. Here we go. Real, like I said, real reliable beer.
Very
I'll
orangey.
give you more details. Yeah, it's got a nice orangey flavor, color, flavor, old school kind of brewery. And this is a brewery I was talking about. Maybe I spoke about it on the show that they recently purchased Speakeasy Brewing.
Oh,
So
San
yes.
Francisco.
Okay, yeah.
And something else I learned about Full Circle, black-owned business.
we love that.
Black-owned brewery, which is rare, of course, but glad to see it right here in Fresno. So cheers.
Cheers. It's a good looking
Hey,
beer
Full
too.
Circle. Yeah.
I'm glad you clarified that about Speakeasy, because all I remembered of the last conversation was that they were over, and I'm glad that the actual real part of that was that they were taken over by someone else, and they're still
they're still going for sure.
thriving. Which reminds me of something we talked about on the last episode. We were talking about Two Villains and about their tenuous circumstances.
Yes.
And we were looking up, trying to figure out all of that. Apparently they are joining forces, not partnering, but partnering in this venture. Two Villains and Muckraker, who we've also had featured on the show before. There's some space in Vernon, New Jersey. Some big space that they are collaborating on. They're going to be partnering on it. They will both be brewing under that roof, and at a date as yet to be determined. So even though Two Villains is still working, they're still brewing out at 12%, but they do have a space that they expect to be brewing from at some point in the near future.
Of course, I just realized that Captain Save Hop plays into our beer venturing here.
It does. It does
It
feel like
does, yeah.
He's a superhero, much like our own Captain Porter Brown Stout.
Yes.
And we have the magical combination. The Captain wields the magical combination of Azacca and Amarillo hops.
Oh.
Infusing a clean and flavorful West Coast IPA with an irresistible twist. Tangy citrus hops dance in perfect harmony.
Well, since we just mentioned Paige, I'm going to actually also do a second pour, and this is the last of the ones we got when we were at Omegang. This is their Manhattan Shine. We talked about this one with the Belgian Babe last time, but we did not have it on the show.
I love it.
Oh.
It is a 12%. It's a bourbon barrel-aged amber ale with black cherry and orange flavors and caramel color. If you listen to the last show, you know we talked about this beer, meaning it's meant to replicate the flavors of a Manhattan.
Oh.
Yes. Okay.
Nice.
And even though I do have an Omegang mug, I used that on the last one, but since the part was Devel, I'm using my Devel glass here for that.
Rocket. Belgians belong in a Belgian glass. That's how it goes.
That is
makes sense.
correct.
There you go. Oh, that's a nice healthy head. Oh, that's a healthy glass.
Yeah.
Manhattan Shine.
Ooh, pretty.
What is the style? It's considered a red ale.
But
a Belgian
that's
style.
That's fair.
Amber
Honestly,
ale.
yeah, but also red ales fit into that amber category, so I think
Yes,
it might
they
be
do.
considered to be a red ale.
I'm just looking at Untapped.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the bottle. In the bottle, they call it an amber ale. But if someone else wants to put that into red, I don't think that's not
Red
disagreeing
belongs
with
under the amber category.
it. Yeah, it is.
But it's barrel aged.
That was a high agreement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
we're doing our very best to take advantage of the fact that Steamboat Willie is now in the public domain. So we
Thank God.
we can all do our Steamboat Willie impressions now. Yeah, I like this beer.
Oh, you
Hey,
got a good
fellas.
falsetto, Captain.
You
You can
give
get
me a
up there.
couple
If
of
you
beers
need.
and it happens.
I
Yeah.
can't get that high. I can't get up there.
Gee Willikers, why not, Huck?
Because
Okay,
I'm
that's
See, that's
Oh my God.
You didn't like that?
and
Sorry.
and this
I enjoyed it. It was just unexpected.
and this part of the second pour celebration is dedicated to the Globe Hopper. We know that these exchanges are what he lives for.
Exactly. Globe
that
Hopper,
right?
always a pleasure.
Globe Hopper must be enjoying this episode then.
Oh, I think so
Oh,
for sure. Yeah.
Globe Hopper appreciates a second pour, and I feel a second pour episode period, and I feel like we started with second pour energy. I feel like we started with second pour energy, even though we were decidedly not second pour at the beginning of
Oh
this.
no.
Hell, I'm
No
ready for
way.
a third, bro.
Make it happen.
Well, we do have a few more minutes. Yeah, could happen.
Yeah.
We did well, but here's I do. We heard a lot about the captain's holiday season, and
Yes,
Huck,
I went on and on and on about it. Yeah.
Now, I believe you were curating some beers for the holidays. Yes.
Yes, I was in charge of beers for the Christmas day at Aunt Mary's house.
Mhm.
Lovely gathering, lovely gathering. Really had a good time. it was well, we have some illness in the family, and so what could have been a somber occasion was very celebratory.
Oh,
Like
good.
within 10 minutes of arriving, we were karaokeing
Oh my gosh.
at noon. The karaoke machine was there, and it just my cousin-in-law John, he just is like, he's a big time singer. He likes to sing, so he's just got it started. And me and Cider Girl were like, oh heck yeah, we're gonna like he and I did a duet of "The Girl Is Mine," the Michael
The
Jackson
doggone girl.
the
is mine.
doggone. I did play the Paul part. I wasn't very happy with it when I saw it, a video of it later, but it's fine.
Well,
It was
it's
a good
good you
time.
didn't try the Michael Jackson, since we know how you feel about
I
falsetto.
don't understand the way you think. But yeah. But as far as beer goes, we went to Trader Joe's a couple of days before, and I found this beer. It was called Three French Hens. No,
Oh, okay.
it was called Four Calling Birds
Oh.
from the brewery. If you know about the brewery, they're out of San Diego area, or I'm sorry, the Orange County area, Placentia, California, I believe. I'm gonna have to put that in the Huck Ups
Good
later.
beers. Yeah.
Mhm.
And when I say brewery, BRUERY,
Yes.
The correct spelling.
fairly well known California brewery, been around a while.
Hmm.
We
and
might have
they
had
had-
one or two of their things on the show at one point or another.
They had Four Calling Birds, and so Uncle Ed, who is a beer venger by proxy, hasn't been on the show, but is a good beer drinker. I said, "Oh, I got this Four Calling Birds for Christmas," and he's like, and I'm like, "It's a quad." He's like, "Well, why don't we have it now?"
Oh wow.
This is like on the 22nd. I'm like, "You're right. Why don't we have it now?"
Sure, that
Open
makes
that one
sense.
up, and it was pretty good. The Four Calling Birds. It was a quad that had it was definitely more of a Christmassy vibe to it. But then the next day I said, well, I got to go out and find more of these, and I went out and I found Three French Hens.
Oh my gosh.
I said, okay, I got Three French Hens for Christmas, and I think that same night Uncle Ed came over, and I said, I got the Three French Hens for Christmas. He's like, well, why don't we have that now? So we
Oh my
did.
gosh.
I like Uncle Ed.
Sadly,
everything is like, why wait? That's just
why wait? That's right. So I will say I like Three French Hens more than Four Calling Birds, but they do have one for every all the 12 days of Christmas. They
Oh, wow.
brew a different beer. The Four Calling Birds is a bourbon barrel aged. It was a winter ale, spiced strong dark ale, and this bourbon barrel aged version is last year's holiday seasonal. Spent a year in rich oak barrels. Really nice, 14.8%. So right up the captain's alley.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then the Three French Hens was more traditional. It was just more of a traditional Belgian strong ale. And also Belgian dark, only 10% on that one. Oak aged Belgian style dark ale. Yeah, really nice. Both of them were very nice. And we couldn't get any of the other ones. But I will say, I know that 8 Maids of Milken is a milk stout.
Mm.
Just so you know. But I went to Spokeasy, which is a brewery, a beer bar here in town.
Oh yeah, you're always talking about that.
Yep.
And hopefully we'll be able to visit that spot soon together. And they had a Grim barley wine, Grim Brewing out of Brooklyn, New York, and this barley wine was loose.
Oh.
It was called 5X. It was 5 X's. So
Ooh.
XXXXX. That was the name of it. And it was called a mild barley wine. and I think they mean like an English mild, not like because it was strong in alcohol, but it was chunky.
Yeah.
It was very much at a lot of sediment, and I have another bottle, y'all.
Oh,
Here in the house.
Oh, wow.
So we'll be able to try it together. But that was I enjoyed it. And the other beer we had was from a brewery called Libertine out of San Luis Obispo, which is relatively nearby here over at the coast. And I mean, I'd love to do a beer adventure day in San Luis Obispo. They got some good breweries over there. But Libertine, they make these aged sour ales, and this one was called Double Fantasy and had just a really cool.
Oh yeah, they're sort of the take on the album cover.
Yeah, they did a really cool, and I think it's sent it to you all on that day.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yes.
Art on the picture is John and Yoko's lips, but stretched for some reason. But that was a really good beer. And the problem with the Christmas and the beer drinking is the family is not a big beer drinking family. We have some beer drinkers, Uncle Ed.
Got it.
And
Uncle Ed sounds to a wonderful influence. Everything you're saying, yeah.
Yes, because like you said, he's in the moment. He's like, let's do it now. So we did enjoy, but I enjoyed them more than anyone else.
As one should, and one is allowed to.
I did get chewed out a little bit, but I didn't make a fool of myself. I also wasn't driving, so I don't know. I think I was within my rights to drink a lot
and not drive.
But anyway,
I won't ask who
neither here nor there, but there you go.
Be another thing, yeah.
It was a good time.
I do want to actually briefly talk about how when I said we've had the brewery on before, we've had them twice. But weirdly enough, my notes one of my notes says it's once, so clearly I have to go through the whole 95 episodes and read, which I'm actually not going to do. I'm gonna think that my filing system is approximate. But on episode 32, I had an oatmeal cookie, presumably stout. I'm sorry, that was episode 23. Clearly, I'm getting dyslexic in all of this. But yeah, so on episode 23. Actually, that was the episode where we all drank the same beer.
Oh,
yes.
From the Acquired Tastings guys, speaking of our fans. So that brings that fully circly thing there as well. Yeah. Where we all shared that 90 night beer. Yeah, Lost 40 90 night beer.
Yeah.
But three of the four of us, you can guess which one did a second pour. And my second pour was oatmeal cookie from the brewery.
Nice.
And on episode,
I assume I had the Grim.
Well, no, I have to go back again.
I'm looking at the description on.
Yes, you did have the Grim. You had the Grim Kronos.
Oh, good pills.
Ooh,
yeah,
excellent pills.
And the Belgian Babe had the Golden Monkey. But yeah, but then also,
Golden Monkey.
So yeah, it was on episode 23. And then on episode 32, so I guess it wasn't as good as I thought, because that's what I was thinking of. We had the Tripel Man, Friendly Neighborhood Tripel Man, and he had a beer called Orxata or Orchata, or I'm not sure how that's pronounced. It's Orxata. It's a blonde ale. It's a powerful thing. It's a nice beer.
Could not tell you, but yes.
Good memory. Good picking up on that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not quite my memory if I'm looking on the spreadsheet.
Well, brewery. Yep, it's there. Oh, good call. So we had the brewery twice, so good for us.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking next holiday season, I might make an effort and try and get all 12.
See, I think that would be worthwhile. Just don't drink them all in one place.
Yeah, we could. I might wait 2 years because I got to go up to the.
All right.
The Bay State next.
That would be worth doing, like a whole multi-episode arc show where we have all 12 of those.
Now, I don't want to miss anything that y'all wanted to talk about. I was going to say, speaking of traveling.
Well, yeah, I was going to say we've teased this a little bit, and it does feel like there is something we should address, because You know,
Yeah.
Huck has mentioned this whole like we all of us get together and we'll try it when we're all here and all of that. But
And you're listening, what the fuck are they talking about?
exactly,
Oh,
Why do they keep speculating on that thing? And it's beyond speculation at this point.
no, it's beyond speculation because there is a thing happening. It's honestly it's monumental in the Beer Avenger sphere.
Yeah.
The powers are reuniting. Captain, you want to tell them what's going on?
Yeah, so by the time you hear this, we days away from
Yes.
Beer Wonder and I getting on separate planes because
Yes.
Beer Wonder thinks it's a good idea to fly at 6 a.m.
Look,
And
I make choices and they're correct, but we're gonna let that.
I think he's right, but okay, go ahead.
I'm good with flying all night and like not sleeping that way. But if I'm gonna fly at 6 a.m., meaning I have to get up at 4 a.m., which means I'm barely gonna sleep. And but yeah, anyway, Beer Wonder is flying out on a Thursday, and I'm flying out at a much more reasonable time on Friday. And and we're all going to explore. We're going to visit Uptown Huck and Uptown Cider Girl, because I guess now that's her name too. The Uptown Fresno folk, and yeah, and we're going to hang out. Beer Wonder's there for about 3 days. I think I'm there for about 5, and Huck is already sketching out his famous crawl. Yeah.
A Huck crawl is a thing of beauty. I cannot wait. It's been a minute since we've experienced.
It's all I think about. It's all I think about.
Yeah. And I'm
because
very
a captain's arriving on a Friday, so I'm like, I went to ask you, and I'll ask you now: are you ready? Are you gonna be ready to beer venge from the airport?
Oh fuck yeah! I mean that's the whole thing. I mean I think I'm flying at like noon or something.
So you'll be arriving at 7 p.m. And
fresh as a fucking daisy, man. I mean, I have to fly to Dallas first, but because Fresno's a tiny airport.
Yeah, unfortunately,
that's okay.
But the cider girl has already said she will drive us around on Friday. So
yes, these are the correct choices.
I'm glad that is what she's been designated to do, and that she's volunteered for it. It's great. Yeah.
Not so much on Saturday, but I think Friday we're
gonna figure Saturday out. We're gonna make Saturday happen.
Well, I mean, Saturday will be less about beer, which if we have to do it with an Uber, we can do it with an Uber.
I was gonna say, we can make that happen. You guys have Ubers in Fresno, right?
That's no, listen, I take them all the time. Okay, I also take the bus.
See, I would public transit. That sounds exciting. Now, in an altered state, it would be confusing, but I would be excited to try it.
And it's only $1.
Oh, do you have to have cash?
Yes.
Okay.
It's okay. I have stuff. I have dollar bills here in the house.
But it's funny. Like I find that cities that it's interesting. Like I found this in Dayton. I never rode the bus when I was in Dayton, but I also regularly, like when I would park downtown, like parking meters were nothing. I mean, they were like compared to what you might pay here, they were nothing because they just want people to go there.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that about Fresno. There's a lot of things about Fresno, and I guess it's because it's California that like food is not like that cheap. I find that beer is a little cheaper than in New York, but because it's California, I guess stuff still costs money.
That's all right.
Yeah.
My frequent flyer miles are getting me there for $11, so I can spend
that's
some money.
So great. That's
awesome.
So yeah, and are we gonna and listen? The Beer Wonder is coming in a night before the captain.
That's true.
So are we gonna beer venge on that night?
I mean, I feel like we should lay the groundwork. I feel like I'd be happy to do some investigation with you around like.
I think I've got a plan. I've got a plan in mind.
In mind. Well, I know that Cider Girl also needs to take me to her place of employment the next day, but
we'll do that on Friday. Yeah.
I know, but it doesn't mean that we can't. That I need to be lubricated to be ready to meet all these nice people and share the Beer Venger gospel with them.
And listen, there's people here that want to beer venge with us. So
okay.
We could be drawing a crowd for our beer vengerness if we were a little more like. I mean, we don't want to carry around recording equipment.
Oh, fuck no. That's what our phones are for. That's what our phones are for. That's what Instagram Live is for.
Let's just try and take as many pictures and as many videos as we can.
Yeah.
And then we will use
as we go along. All three of us.
We'll use that to inform the post-visit
Yeah.
episode so we
Right,
can really
but
document it properly.
But because, and we have proven this in the past, that sometimes when the beer vengers get together, magic happens on the internet. If someone doesn't want to
Yes.
miss the magic that's about to happen in Fresno, and could happen live while we're in Fresno, because we all know
Anytime. It
how
can
that
happen
goes down.
anytime. Yeah.
It could happen. You never know. How should the nice people get in touch with us?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone who's listening must be following us on Instagram. But if you're not,
I would hope they would be.
go to at the Beer Vengers.
Mhm.
It's just that at symbol. You know the at
Yep.
symbol. It's
Yep.
right there. I
We've
don't know,
seen it.
the 2 or something. Yeah. And just follow us there, and then your phone, if you have your alerts or whatever, I think that it'll tell you like, hey, the Beer Vengers are live now. Go check them out. And we'll try and keep it long enough, because we learned the hard way that if we don't keep your Instagram live long enough, it just disappears. So,
I know. Yeah.
Is that one we did in Germany is gone?
No,
you're saying?
no, that one is there. That was Belgium, actually.
Yeah.
But
Excuse me.
it was
Yes,
in Bruges. And
What is German
but
speaking ask?
there was one that Beer Wonder and I did last year at the Industry City thing.
Yeah.
That
We
is
did
the
one that was
spirit.
too short to last, but
I see.
But
Yep.
I also want to address the other thing Beer Wonder was talking about, how public transportation versus Ubers. What I find often is the case is that like public transportation to get there, Uber to get back.
Yes, that is a good. That's a good
exactly
policy.
what I do here.
It's an excellent policy.
And something what I've done for the last 2 years, and I'll be doing again on Saturday, will likely match that. I'm going once again to the, and I can never get any beer vengers to come with me, but I always have a lot of fun with it. I'm going solo once again to the Gun Hill annual barrel aged fest. And I bought my VIP ticket tonight, so I'll be coming home with a special bottle of Comes
Love
the
it.
Night,
Ooh.
aged for 2 years in barrels provided by Kings County Distillery.
That's going
Delicious.
to be a
T-shirt.
blast.
And I will try and document more of it, because I always get back from those things and I look at the list and say, I think I had that one. I'll try and I always have a hard time balancing the documenting with the experiencing, and I
Right.
usually fall on the side of experiencing
Yeah,
and then
hell yeah.
forgetting the experience. But I'll do my best to bring stuff to you that I can. And yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll record an episode before California, and I can talk through that. But yeah, the last 2 years I was on the fence about it, but by the time I finally staggered out of Gun Hill, I always took an Uber home.
Yeah.
Ridiculously expensive, but absolutely worth it. And then like the next day, I'm still like, where did I leave what beers did I buy? Where did I leave them? But yeah, looking forward to that. I think the happy hour guy who is still in New York is going to be there, so I'll look forward to
Oh,
seeing
fun.
Mark
Okay.
there.
And you know what? Just freaking talk to people, because
know.
you guys, everyone that's there is going to be getting buzzed, because we're talking
Yeah.
about strong ass beers.
I find I spend a lot more time talking to the brewers than I do, and I spend a lot of time talking to the brewers. But I usually spend more time talking to them than the other people who are there. But yeah, I would try and break out of my shell and do that a little.
Here's what I do.
Yeah.
Hey, cheers.
Oh my god.
Okay, let me work on that. I just want to
Hey.
make sure. Hey, cheers!
Hey, cheers.
Hey, cheers!
What the hell's your
Hey!
story?
That feels very
cheers.
that feels appropriate for the Bronx to me as well, right? That's got that
Maybe
that's
right.
got that
Maybe
like that
right.
like New York energy to it. I think that's
I mean,
really,
coming from New York, I definitely, there's definitely, like in Fresno, people are a little more social, or more gregarious, I guess. Like people
Sure.
in New York tend to be a little more protective of themselves.
that's true.
But that's it. Even in New York, I mean, there's a community of beer drinkers. If you're at Gun Hill at that particular festival, they're in the same mindset as the captain.
That's
Yep.
a really thank you for
Those
for-
are your
for-
people. Those are your people.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Thank you for reminding me of that. And it's funny because
They're not amateurs.
We've been to a lot of breweries and a lot of bars, and I remember sometimes it's sometimes a struggle. Like a few years ago for your birthday, we went to the Finback in Gowanus. We went there a few times,
Yeah.
but sometimes we find that the crowd there, not necessarily the clientele, but also sometimes the bartenders, maybe a little chilly, little bit like whatever. And they just opened a Finback in LIC,
That's true.
Long Island City,
Mhm.
and I
Yeah.
got to visit there
Excuse me.
shortly after the New Year. it was sort of snowing. Just sort of because it doesn't really fucking count if it's only 35 degrees and nothing's gonna stick. But I decided to stop by there after work the other day, and I had one of their 2022 BQEs. I don't even remember. I have to look it up. They come out with like 5 of those a year. They're always amazing.
Yeah.
And I first walked into it, and my first thought was a little bit of a hipster vibe.
Okay.
With the music and the clientele, but I also found the bartenders to be, or the beer tenders, which we'll call them, I guess, to be very friendly and open, and that was great.
Yeah.
It's like that's sort of like talk a lot about how the best version of hipster places is a place where there's really good stuff and people are nice and they don't have the hipster attitude, and that was my experience on that one visit and that having that one beer at Finback. I will definitely be back, and it's not just because I can literally take a bus from my front door to their front door. One bus.
I love that.
We love that.
The Q101 stops directly outside the front door of them by Queens Plaza. So that's pretty great.
See, that's what I do here. I have to walk a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, by New York standards, it's nothing. Like this 12-minute walk to the corner to
that's barely counts.
Yeah, the bus that I take directly to the tower, for $1, and it's great. I don't know that we'll have a chance to do that. Well, the captain and I might, because we have a couple extra days.
Yes,
but we got to get Friday and Saturday are our. Well, actually, you know what? I want to say this because I looked at your schedule. Beer Wonder.
Yes,
you're leaving. You're flying out of Fresno kind of later in the day on Domingo.
Yeah.
So are you willing to get on a plane?
Oh yeah. Fully emotionally prepared for the next 12 hours of my life. Yes. 100%.
Honestly, knowing that you're going to you're drunk enough to sleep through the first leg of the flight is the best way to do a red-eye flight.
Oh yeah. No,
we could do some beer venging on Sunday.
I thought so. Well, that was why I chose a late flight, because I figured it would be important to the community for us to really get our full money's worth out of this adventure.
Yeah, I'll be
Right
flying
on.
in a day after Beer Wonder, but staying a few days extra, and then I'll be driving down to Lake Elsinore, and we were talking about karaoke. My friend Sarah, who used to run the Ophelia Theater Group here, still is working on productions there, and I first met as a karaoke hostess here, and she is currently doing a Friday night karaoke hosting gig at a brewery in Lake Elsinore. So that will also be part of my my California trip.
Wow.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're doing that. That's great.
Now, with all our talk about walking around for the crawls, I do want to briefly touch on one walking experience that was a tradition for many Beer Avengers for many years. That Beer Wonder and I resurrected between the two of us on New Year's Day this year.
Yeah. Yep, we
Glad
do.
to hear that.
For many moons, the members of the Beer Venture family, far and wide, have stormed, one might say, the Brooklyn Bridge and done the traditional bridge walk, where we start on the Brooklyn side, end on the Manhattan side.
The last one we did was 2020.
That's true. Yes, we 2020, New Year, New You again.
Oh, we looked so optimistic that year.
I know we did. We were. I have. I have photos from it.
The world was our oyster.
Exactly. Right. Yep. We were entering the roaring 20s. But we decided to bring it back actually at the captain's recommendation. And I was so happy to join him. And so we took the bridge.
We also amended the start time because
that's true.
Fuck 10 a.m. after you've been drinking all night.
Yeah, no, that was a little early.
We met at noon.
Yeah, we went at noon.
Good for you.
Yeah. There was choices we all made. But we took the bridge, we made it across, we got to Cowgirl Seahorse, our favorite spot, and
Great
for
brunch.
Drinks, we had a full pitcher of margaritas between the two of us.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
I know.
Well, because margaritas there are so expensive, we did sort of the math. It's like, if we get a pitcher, that's basically cheaper than buying 3 of them.
Yeah.
Right.
So
what happened on New Year's Eve with y'all? I know that Cider Girl and I used to have our annual party, and
Yes.
we stopped that around the same time. 2020,
Yeah.
I think, was probably our
Yeah,
last
that was the end
one.
of it.
Yes,
Yep.
2019, 2020 was your last one.
Did we do a 22? We didn't do a 22.
I don't
No,
think
we
we did
did.
22.
We did.
Yeah, no.
We didn't do 21.
I think the COVID killed it, I'm afraid.
Well, yes, that's why it
2020 was
wasn't
the last one.
2021, and for whatever reason, we didn't do it in 2022 either. I think you might have been, even though you hadn't moved yet, you might have been in California for 2022 New Year's.
It's quite possible.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
so.
we moved. My mother-in-law, she moved out of her house into a new place. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I think you were there for the holidays, even though you weren't living there yet. But I've always had a backup New Year's plan, and that's the Night Runner's place down which is a half a block from where I am, and which is I love Huck. I love visiting you on the Upper West Side, but there are certain things that are really nice about being able to only walk half a block when I finally decide to leave the party.
Oh
Valid.
yeah. Oh,
Valid.
well, what is that? What's the sound? What's the sound?
I think you're looking for.
Oh fuck yeah, my dude.
Yes.
Fuck
yeah, my dude. Correct.
That's why we used to have the party. I'm like, I don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah. Well, if you
Exactly.
host, yeah.
Fuck yeah, my dude.
And then you can just pass out in your own home. I know.
Yeah.
I gather with a group of folks still on the west side. So I was up near-ish to Huck's old place. But of course, that means that I get to fight the trains back to Brooklyn amongst all the drunkies. And so I did make it home by about 2 a.m., which made a noon start time just perfect.
It was perfect. I think, going in the future, if we decide to keep that tradition going, I think noon is ideal.
Yep. And Cowgirl Seahorse was as Cowgirl Seahorse as it has ever been. I'll say that.
The nice thing about only being two of us, we, a reservation wasn't really necessary.
Yep.
So
Right.
that was good.
You could sit at the bar if you wanted to. Yeah.
Yeah.
When
Not
you
that
guys
you would
in
have even
California,
needed one, unfortunately.
Belgian Babe was in either Massachusetts or Rhinebeck, New York. So yeah, just me and the beer wonder. Good way to start the year.
Good way to start the year.
Well, gents, I think
it could still suck a lot, but we had a nice start to it.
I think this podcast is a great way to start the year. I think
it is too.
We've had a very good one here tonight.
Yep, and with lots of things,
this afternoon.
Yep, with lots of things to look forward to. Both the remaining 5 episodes we've got coming at you, and a Beer Avengers misadventure in Fresno coming to you in the future episodes.
I can't wait to see you guys. And you know what? We're here doing this all the time.
Yeah.
We haven't seen each other in well over a year.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah.
yeah.
It was the Beer Avengers European vacation.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the last time, and that was October of
2022.
2022.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
well, it's going to be so much fun.
Y'all out here. I hope you don't get too bored out here in the sticks.
I think we will be just fine.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling people. I'm going to visit a couple of cities that are not interesting, but the people are going to be worth it.
Hey, 5th largest city in California.
Well, 5th for a reason.
That felt like I really felt when you said that.
5th for a reason.
You just okay. Yeah, 5th for a reason, and I just wanted to give you the.
That should be their logo. 5th for a reason.
But there was a thing. There was a thing on. All respect due to Alex Trebek, in his later years. And actually, even the early years, he probably did this a little bit. But he had this thing where when he was interviewing the Jeopardy contestants at that thing, he would ask, and if he couldn't figure out any way to relate to what they were saying or couldn't think of anything, his transition was always, good for you.
Good for you.
and so when you said Fresno is the 5th largest city in California, I went straight into Alex Trebek mode and said, good for you.
Good for you.
Good for you.
Bigger than Sacktown. That's all. We got it over those losers.
Those NorCal monsters.
What about Davis?
Davis is a lot smaller. Yeah,
I figured it was. Yeah. When I went to a wedding in Davis a number of years ago, stayed in.
But I tell you what, almost everywhere in California is filled with people. I mean, this is a super populous.
Oh, sure.
That's right.
State. A lot of people out here, and a lot of beer, a lot of great beer places that we're gonna go, and it's gonna be a fun time.
We're looking forward to it.
It's going to be so much fun.
And hopefully the Beer Avengers will all enjoy that with us in our podcast about it.
Yes, and to be clear, when we were talking about 100 episodes, we're not going away. We're just gonna figure out stuff beyond that, and we will be back. We're not going. We're the Beer Avengers.
We are the Beer
Oh,
Avengers.
good point.
That is true. We are the Beer Avengers.
And we have a song where those words are even in there, and I think Huck is clutching his mighty uke.
Trusty uke.
How long have you been giving me this cue? I saw when we reached an hour. I'm like,
I don't know if I
we
was,
should
but
wrap
I
it
felt
up.
like I didn't want anyone to freak out with what I said before. Because
No.
But
it's all good.
thanks for listening, everyone. Listen to this one. You just did. What am I saying? And we'll see you again for episode 95. Thanks for listening.
Woo!
Huck, play us out.
Please do.
Oh, we're the beer Avengers, beer Avengers, beer Avengers.
Excuse me, we're the Avengers.
What the fuck was that?
I don't even know what's going on.